Hello ladies and gentlemen, your beloved Viggo Man here, back with another tutorial. Today we are building this very simple yet incredible beautiful looking starter house for you in your survival world. If you enjoy, make sure to leave a like, and if you haven't done already, make sure to subscribe for more epic content coming to you from my channel. As you can see, it's a very beautiful house with a lot of wooden structures combined with nice stone and clay textures. So the area we're going to need is 15 by 11 blocks. We're going to start off with some oak logs, placing them with first one and a gap of 1, and then a gap of 3, and then a gap of 3, and then a gap of 1, then another one. You can just follow the pattern that I'm doing it. Gap of 3 there, gap of 3, 1, then 3, and there we go. Should look something like that. Going a little bit fast here. Then we're going to rise all of those pillars up by 5 blocks, so there's a total of 6 blocks tall like that. It's very simple. Then we're going to make a border of stone bricks, like just 1 block thick, like that. Make a small space for a door in either end here, and then place some cobblestone on top. Make space for windows wherever every place where I leave a small gap, there will have a window. Back to the size of the windows here, we're going to set up the walls a little bit more, and then place an upside down stairs with a dark oak fence in the middle here to symbolize a window like that. We're going to have a crossbeam going across like that, to give a nice supported structures, and we're going to add some spruce slabs under there to add some details. To the front of the build, we're going to rise up the cobblestone again, place an upside down stairs with a door in the middle here. Then we're going to bring across an oak log on either side, but not in the middle, because there we'll have spruce blocks. Then we're going to make an arch using upside down spruce stairs like that, so we have a nice arch going there above the door. And then we're going to support that up with some more spruce stairs, and then some slabs on either side, which will be a balcony in the future. Also adding some slabs on the sides there under the crossbeam to create a nice detail. Then take your dark oak fences and add the trim to the balcony. On the opposite side of the front, we're going to do something very similar, adding up the cobblestone with an upside down stairs, then a stair, but without having the balcony there. We're just going to have a regular crossbeam with 2 upside down stairs beneath it like that. Then your structure should be looking a little bit like this. If not, go back, rewatch it, take some breaks, pause the video, count the blocks, make sure you did it right. I'm doing this really quickly, guys. So let's move on. Now we're going to add another layer of cobblestone above the existing cobblestone here. This will not be seen when the building is done. Then we're going to add a layer of hardened clay around here like that. Leave a gap for the door in the front, also for a window in the back, which we will do a little bit more of later on. Then add another layer of hardened clay, so we have a 2 thick layer of hardened clay all the way around. Very simple like that, covering it all up, but keep in mind that we need a gap for the door. Getting back to the door right now, what we're going to do is to raise those middle columns up with 1 oak log, and then we're going to measure out how the roof will go in. Going to use dark oak slabs, and then go half slabs up until we reach the middle from the first one, and then do the same from the other side like that. Keep in mind that we're going 1 block out from the oak pillar to get a nice detailed trim. Then we're raising up the hardened clay in the middle to create an area for the door. We're going to place some slabs on, like to get a nice transition from the roof to the wall like that. Very simple. And then we're going to add an upside down stairs of spruce in the middle, and then a door under that, and that's everything we need for the front. To the back side, we're going to do the exact same, so just duplicate that, then remove all of the door, and then just replace that with a basic window using stairs and spruce. Now we're going to change this block underneath the door here, because just to make it look a little bit prettier like that. And then we're going to start working on the roof. What we want to do is to just go ahead and do the same as we did on the front, is stack that backwards all the way, so you have continuous way of this. And then when you're done all of that all the way around, you might add a little bit of randomization with some stairs and stuff like that to make it look a little bit more worn out and look a little bit more pretty. Now we're adding some details to the outside of this build, placing a cobblestone wall on the bottom here, and then with some dark oak fences on top of it, creates this nice supporting feeling. We're going to have them on the corner and the middle blocks like that. As you can see, it looks really nice. Then what we're going to do is to take the buttons and place them every place where oak cross beams cross each other. So whenever there's a vertical and a horizontal oak log and they cross each other, we're going to place a button like that to create a nice supported feeling. Then what you can do is take your spruce slabs and place them to get a nice transition from the roof, a nice detailed trim between the roof and the walls like this. Should be looking really nice. And then the last thing we're going to do is to add a small flower bed up here. Place a grass block. You can also use a dirt block if you don't have grass available, and then place a small flower on top of that. Should be very simple, just add a nice touch of life and detail to the build. Let's crack on with the inside, shall we? I'm going to use andesite, polished andesite for the flooring in here. Placing in all of that really quickly here, removing the grass. And what you can do to create a little bit of more variation, you can place in some normal andesite in the floor like that. It looks really nice. Then the staircase will be going up like that. 4 staircases, and then just a solid floor of spruce planks like that. Very simple. Now we'll do a little bit of interior stuff. You can always do this however you want to, adapt it to your style and the stuff you need in your base. But today I'm just going to give you a small example of what you can do here. Just follow along, try to take some inspiration and perhaps some tips and tricks for what you can do. You might want to change it all up when you're doing this yourself, but for now let me just show you guys how I would have done it myself. Placing down some chests, ender chests, furnaces, crafting tables and all you wanted to have in there, and then a small carpet just for prettification. Up here we're going to have a bed, because you always need a bed, you know, to sleep. You're going to have a chest on either side for personal stuff, if you know what I mean, and then a flower pot with a nice tub in it. You might want to raise up these walls here as well on the inside, just so it looks a little bit better. And then what you can do is to create a nicer ceiling using a pair of slabs here like that to create a smoother ceiling design. It's not necessary, but I like to do that to keep it smooth. Then we're going to make a small enchantment area. Of course, you don't have to do this if you don't really need it. As I've said, this is just a small example of how you can do it. Placing down the crafting table, we might end up moving that later on. Moving that into closer towards the bookshelves, because it's kind of in the way right now. Then we're adding a couple of flowers here just to make it look a little bit pretty. Moving the enchantment table back, and then finishing it all off with some guarding rails here so you don't fall down the stairs and get hurt. You know, we don't want people to get hurt. Then we need to just add some light in here, because you don't want this green demolishing people in here. So we're going to add a small carpet there, and then add some light here, add some torches. Going to add one right here, and you can always add one onto the stair like that. It's a really cool design. But that's all for the interior. You can always spice it up yourself. That's all for this tutorial. I know it was very fast, but I hope you guys just managed to hang along, pause the video, get the inspiration, do the blocks, do the stuff, and hope you guys are really happy what you come up with the house you have in your base. If so, make sure to let me know with a like and a comment and all that stuff, and I hope to see all you guys around. It's been Vegoman, and I'm out.